to the world. It's been unexpected and unplanned. It's unexpected and unplanned, and a lot has happened to the tourism industry, not just in Africa, but all over across the globe. Now, whereas we can't do anything to control what happened to us as individuals, what happened to us as businesses, what happened to us as countries, we can control how we respond. The questions we want to ask ourselves is, what do we do and where do we go from here? Now, these are some of the questions that our convener, Mr. Toni Ukachkwu of Walk of Love Africa, probably asked himself. He must have been minding his own business and sitting down pondering, like, what are we going to do and where do we go from here as Africa for Africa? And undoubtedly, he spent countless of hours just trying to get answers to these questions. Now, today's session is simply to talk about the Walk for Love initiative. We will hear about what the initiative is all about, why it is important, why you and I should care about it and be a part of the campaign, and hopefully get your commitment on what you can do to be a part of this initiative one way or the other. Now, over the years since COVID hit, there have been numerous initiatives that have been launched with the intention to rebuild and recover the tourism sector. And we are slowly beginning to see the rise of the tourism industry again. That's good news for all of us, I'm sure. Never mind what Omicron is doing, but we are slowly beginning to see the rise of the tourism industry. We have seen partnerships emerge. We have seen collaborations take shape. We have attended quite a number of webinars, all talking about the importance of African destinations collaborating with each other. We've talked and talked and talked some more. But now we have WFL, the Walk for Love initiative. This is an initiative that symbolically sets us on the path of no more talking, and instead it is time to start walking. We need to walk the talk. So we're so very glad that Toni had this initiative in his heart and encouraged us all to join him so that we can begin to walk for the love of Africa. Now, today we're joined by an incredibly esteemed and vibrant group of panelists, all of whom are incredibly passionate about tourism in Africa. Each of our panelists have a mandate in their own countries, in their governments, and as private sector as well, to spearhead the tourism agenda forward, whilst making positive contributions to the sector. And we will hear all about this today. Now, it is now my pleasure to introduce our panelists today. Nana, are you ready? Thank you. So we'll start with our convener, Mr. Toni Ukachkwu. Toni, you are amazing. First of all, I'm so happy to call you my friend. I tried not to be your friend, but that didn't work. And here we are, we're friends, and I'm sure we're going to do great things going forward. Toni is the CEO and founder of Walk for Love Africa. We are so glad, Toni, that you took this dream into your heart and you decided to do something about it. It is only because of you that we are all here today. Thank you so very much. And now our next speaker is the Honourable Philda Kereng. Philda is the Minister of Environment and Natural Resources, Conservation and Tourism for Botswana. She is also a specially elected member of Parliament in Botswana. Philda has held several other positions previously, some of which are, she is an independent social development consultant. She also worked for UNICEF as a child protection officer. She also held a position as the Chief Extension Officer for Rural Industries Innovation Center, RIIC, in Botswana. Personally, I met Philda online. What a vibrant character. I heard her speak on YouTube somewhere and I was like, okay. And I'm so pleased that we have you here today, Honorable. I'm sure we'll be able to learn a lot from you and hear about what Botswana is doing and also learn from what Botswana is doing. Very honored to have you here. And next, it is my honor to introduce Mr. Ademola Sanya. Ademola wears several hats. I mean, if I was going to talk about everything that Ademola has, we would be in awe. Ademola is currently the managing partner at Richardson Heritage Consulting, RHG, a tourism and logistics consulting firm in Lagos, Nigeria. Ademola is also currently the president of SCAL International Lagos. SCAL is a club that connects travel and tourism professionals around the world. I'm going to repeat that. It is a club that connects travel and tourism professionals around the world in 99 countries. And it also boasts approximately 13,000 members globally. Mr. Ademola is also the managing director at Wiz International Services, which is a tour packaging company. And again, I say it is an honor to have you join us, Ademola. Thank you so very much. And next, I have Mr. Cuthbert Nkube. I'm very proud to say Cuthbert is also my friend, known him a while. He is also the current executive chairman of African Tourism Board, ATB. ATB is a membership-based organization with approximately 400 members across Africa and indeed the globe. Now, ATB's mandate is to unite Africa's tourism destinations and position the continent as a single tourism destination in the near future. If it's one thing that Africa needs to do, is to recognize that if we stand together as destinations, we will be a formidable destination in the tourism space. Cuthbert is also CEO and founder of Kwela Fleet Management Company in South Africa. Cuthbert is well respected and a leader and a supporter of tourism across Africa and beyond. His vast experience and knowledge has made him sought after as a speaker and a panelist in numerous industry discussions globally. Cuthbert, it's an honor to have you, and we're grateful to have you join us. You're welcome. And last but not least, my very good friend and partner, Tess Proust. Tess is the president of the Society for Incentive Travel Excellence site in South Africa, and she is also the founder and CEO of Crystal Events in South Africa. Tess is also very passionate and very vocal about anything tourism. It is an honor to have you join us, and I'm sure we're going to learn a lot, not just about SITE, but also about why SITE has just partnered with Walk for Love Africa today. So thank you all so very much. And now, since there's no one to introduce me, I will have the honor of introducing myself. My name is Doris Rebangira Parsons, and I'm the managing partner of SRC Agency based in Tanzania and Rwanda. And yes, today I will be your moderator. Thank you so very much. Now, without much further ado, let me bring us to the business that has brought us here today. And that is to talk about the Walk for Love initiative. And this question, Toni, I will direct to you first. Toni, it has been said that all great things started as a single idea. Please talk to us about the brilliant initiative that has now come to be known as Walk for Love Africa. What is it that inspired you to get started, and how did this idea come to, to fruition until we're all here now, rallying for you, behind you, and supporting you? Talk to us about that, Toni.
Thank you very much, Doris. Thank you for the introduction. I'm a little bit overwhelmed with seeing the fact that the singular idea has, brought us thus far. But to go back to the beginning, of course, as some of us here know, I play in the aviation, travel, and tourism space in Africa, and I'm passionate about Africa. I'm Pan-African in my orientation, even though I'm a Nigerian. And throughout the COVID times, every stakeholder has been looking at innovative ways to come up with solutions to what has hit us, especially in our sector. And for me, I've always also occupied that space in trying to see what can I contribute as an individual? How can I pull people together to see what we can do to bring solutions? And I do keep fit and do runs every Saturday. And I was just in that space one Saturday morning, and it just dropped. I don't know how it happened. I just had a Work for Love Africa, a Pan-African project. And I completed my run and I started to just scribble down my thoughts. And it started getting clearer. And I just want to share a little bit about how we came about the visual representation, which is the logo. I spoke with my creative team and told them what I had imagined, and they brought up the logo, but the logo actually has meaning to it. If you look at it, how it's scribbled, it looks like Africa, and the toes means, taking a step, not just being stagnant, making the move. Okay, it stands for growth, it stands for movement, it stands for, taking action. And then of course, the love sign, basically because the love of Africa at the bottom of what we are doing. So that's how we came up with the logo. And then the next thing was to, talk to my colleagues in the sector across Africa and pull their support. And I was hoping that they were going to like the initiative. And I was amazed at the tremendous support I got. I didn't get the whole team by myself. I called a few and a few called others. And before we knew it, we had over 20 coordinators across Africa. And I must appreciate, everyone that jumped on this idea. So that's how the idea came about. What is the idea behind this? When the pandemic, and I always say this, each time the West sneezes, Africa catches cold. And I thought it was time for Africa to look within. We are enough. We can do business with ourselves. We can travel our destinations. We can grow our economy by ourselves, and not, relying or be at the receiving end of the West. The pandemic hit us, but they hit us so hard, but we are seen to be suffering from the effect of what the pandemic is causing, even though Africa is well, in the frame of moving ahead even before other areas. So the thought was, how can we now love ourselves enough, first of all, to be able to do business together, connect our industries, and of course, travel and tourism is a socio-economic driver. If we in the aviation, travel, and other sectors, I don't know what they're doing and how to connect Africa, but we in the aviation, travel, and tourism sector, if we can't come together, then we are going to catalyze every other sector. Then everything, and it will lead to our socio-economic development. So basically, we're still here in the meeting. This is how the idea came about. And I have wonderful, skilled professionals in the aviation value chain that has joined as coordinators in different African countries. And we are driving the vision, and that's how we got here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tony. It's very inspiring just to hear your story. Personally, when I heard that as you were jogging, then the idea came to you. This is how all great things have started. And what I like is the fact that the idea is connect each and every single tip. I'm sure it's because you understood that if you did it alone, there's no way it could be spreading towards all around Africa as it is right now. So thank you so very much. About 20 countries that have registered to have this much interest and this much traction for the first time that you're doing it. Was that even a possibility for you at the time, Tony?
No, I was just going with the flow on how it came. I had no premonition that we are going to have this much traction at all. I was just taking it one day at a time, talking to people, connecting to my network, connecting to my colleagues, getting the like minds to join, because I wouldn't have been able to do this all alone with the secretariat that we set up, working day and night, 24/7, trying to make sure that every coordinator in every participating country, it's easy for them to get resources. It was amazing. I never thought it would get this far.
Thank you, absolutely. And again, that is just an example of what we can all do as Africa if we stand together and do things as one. And now, before our panelists, Nena, is it time? Might be a good time to post the engagement question. Would you like us to do that now or
Yes,
later?
I will. So I'm going to share the slide right now. I've sent the link to everybody in the chat room. Please go to the link, click on it, and try and get to this place. You have to answer this question, just one word, but you actually have the permission to write 3 words. So the question is, in 1 word, describe how you think Walk for Love Africa will help rebuild tourism around the continent. So please go to the link I just put in the chat box, click on it, and let's do it. Bouncing, amazing. Someone has put bouncing. Who else? Let's make this thing really lively. Put words. You can put 3 words. You're permitted to put 3 words. Someone has put bouncing. Who else wants to try? Who else wants to try? Let's do it. Training, amazing. What else? What else? How can we use this campaign to bring about rebirth for tourism in our continent? Come on, everyone. Let's do this. Let's do this. Growth, good, awareness, skill development, connection. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Let's keep on putting this. Let's keep putting this. All right, awareness. All right, someone else puts connectivity. It's like more people are putting connectivity because it's coming out bigger and bigger. All right, training, awareness, narrative, networking. Beautiful. Let's go ahead. Growth. Amazing. Promote. Working. All right. Let's do this. We have a few more minutes. Okay. This is nice. I'm liking this. Awareness, collaboration, and connectivity. Networking it's actually more because people are putting more of those words. All right. We have at least a few more seconds. Let's keep putting the words inside there. Let's share this. Let's know how we think we can bring rebirth in tourism in our continent. All right. We have a few more seconds. Oh, come on, everyone, please. This is called engagement. Engagement, put words. I need to see more words in this board. I need to see more words. Okay, it's coming in. Love for Africa, beautiful. It's like the awareness, collaboration, and networking makes more sense. Stop putting it in the chat room. I want to see it on the board. I don't want to see it on the chat. I want to see it on the board. Let's do that. All right, a few more seconds so that we can now start up. I don't want to see it in the chat room. Gotta put the rebranding and awareness there. I want to see it come out there because of, okay, I like this. Revamping, open doors, unity. I mean, like, Doris, this is really amazing. I'm happy to see people are putting the words in there and it's making
It's amazing.
So please, you can continue putting the words there while we go back to our panelists. All right, beautiful. So it's going to still be there. Keep clicking.
Joined us.
Yes, I'll follow up in the chat room with that.
All right. Joined us, going over to the chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. But before you remove that off the screen, and then let's just pick on the words that have just jumped out on us. We have awareness, we have collaboration, and we have networking. I love those. There's nothing we can do for African tourism if awareness is not part of that package. And I think we're not the only ones who think so. Everyone else thinks so. Collaboration, absolutely key. We're talking about collaboration and talking, but we need to go out there and start collaborating with each other. This Walk for Love initiative in itself is an opportunity for collaboration. Loving this. And then networking. Again, your network is your net worth. So the more you network, the more your net worth is going to increase in the industry. So thank you so much for all of you who have engaged, who have told us what you're thinking. It will all tie into what our panelists are going to be talking about as we listen in. So thank you so very much. Then I think I can go ahead now and ask the question to our next panelist. Are you going to have this on screen still, or?
It's going to be on the chat box. I'll just keep reminding people to put their words, but let's go ahead.
Superb, lovely. Okay, thank you so very much, Tony. Thank you for your remarks. And now I'd like to call upon the ATB chairman, Mr. Cuthbert Nkobe. Cuthbert, one of ATB's core mandates is to bring Africa's destinations together, all of Africa's destinations. And as I said earlier, that ATB is a membership-based organization of all the African activities together. Now, you have been very, very vocal about advocating for the spirit of Ubuntu around Africa. You don't go anywhere without actually urging people to join hands and work together as one. So please talk to us about why ATB has partnered with the Walk for Love initiative. Would you like to talk to us about that? I'm sure there's some synergies along that and we can learn from your wisdom. Cuthbert, over to you.
Thank you so much, Doris, our moderator, and acknowledging the minister who has joined us on this occasion. Yes, African history, colleagues, has taught us that nobody will affect change in this beautiful continent of Africa. That has so much to offer, and we have been talking about economic emancipation of Africa for so long, for the past 120 years. And this is still a debate subject in almost every conference and every gathering. Now that tourism is gradually taking shape in most member states, that's the beginning of our journey to economic recovery after the devastating effect, of course, of the pandemic. Because Africa was not much impacted as opposed to the other continents of the world, the tourism is a catalyst tool that we need to use to bring unity, to bring us together as a continent. I just want to appreciate Toni to have come up with this marvelous thought that came on a Saturday while you were joking, and which is a very great initiative that talks to the core of our existence as Africans, that talks to the core of our humanity. We are identified by love in action, in our diversity as a continent. We're looking at most probably more than 24 member states participating simultaneously in this great initiative. That shows us that Africa is, as long we stand together, we unite our resolves, we can do so much love. It must start with us appreciating one another. As we walk down the streets, as we jog down the streets, I mean, in this exercise, it's a symbol of saying unity can take us so far as an African continent. African Tourism Board, our core mandate is to see how best can we synergize our efforts, how best can we come together, how best can we dismantle the borders that has separated us as brothers and sisters. So we felt it prudent for us to be part of this great initiative to say, let's join hands together. When we look at our recovery mechanisms, we're looking beyond tourism. We're looking, investment within Africa. It is high time for us to start appreciating and pushing investment within the continent and move away from the dependency syndrome that has kept us as a third world continent. So we really appreciate, and I hope that it is the beginning of greater things to come as we unite Africa, as we unite our resolves, as we stand together, as we join hands for the right cause for Africa to say, let's open our borders, let's open our hearts in love. It shouldn't be just love, walking in love, but it has to be love in action. Let's make it realistic for Africa. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chairman, and that was very insightful. And again, I think I'd like to ask you another question. As Africa Tourism, so that if there's anybody here wondering who are African Board and should we be joining them, maybe this is the opportunity now to speak to someone and let them have, let them know what this is about. Would you like to give us 5 minutes to speak about, not 5 minutes, really 1 minute to speak about that? Thank you.
Thank you so much. As I indicated that we need
to really... That was for you?
Yes. Am I loud enough?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Am I audible enough?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes,
we can hear you, yes.
Thank you, Doris. As I indicated that we need to really break the chains that has kept us as slave to the international community. African Tourism Board, it is the voice that brings Africa together, that brings our tourism together, that brings our ministries of tourism together to say how best can we talk together. May I be so excited to indicate that African Tourism Board, actually the government of Eswatini, has commissioned and officially will be commissioning African Tourism Board as our host country in the Kingdom of Eswatini, whereby we will send an invitation to all of us to come and grace this great occasion. Our core mandate is to say how best can we promote tourism, how best can we reshape, how best can we promote and market, Africa as a tourist destination of choice, as an investment hub of the continent at large. So that's what we stand for as African Tourism Board. Would really appreciate if all of us could join hands in our mission to liberate Africa, to emancipate Africa from the economic slavery point of view, and also reshaping and rewriting our own history as Africa, as Africans in Africa.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you very much for your words. And may I take a moment right now, if you have your camera on and you're not a panelist, may I ask you to have your camera switched off just for the sake of the connectivity? So only the panelists who are to have their cameras on. Thank you very much. And also to remind everyone who's just joined us now, please feel free to use the chat box to pose your questions to any of the speakers about anything that they've spoken or anything that is a burning issue to yourself. So please use that opportunity, post your question on the chat box. We will address it to the speakers as they speak, just to make sure that you have all your queries answered. And at this moment, I'd also like to acknowledge all the media members that would have joined us today. Thank you so much. We have some media members from across Africa. We thank you for all of you who've joined. Again, if you have your questions, put them on the chat, and Nena will be so kind to pick the questions, and we'll ask them as we go along. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Cuthbert, for your remarks. And now, without further ado, I'd like to call up friend Tess Bruce. Tess, are you there? Are you ready? Thank you so much.
Ready and waiting.
Tess, now. Amazing. So Tess is the president of the Society for Incentive Travel Excellence in Africa. Now, if you've never heard about that organization, today is your day that you're going to hear a little bit about it. Before I ask Tess why it is that you, as SITE, chose to partner with the Walk for Love initiative, kindly take a minute just to talk to us about what SITE is all about. It's also a membership-based organization for anyone within the tourism space. This is an organization worth thinking about joining in terms, as we all think about rebuilding the tourism in Africa. Tess, go ahead.
Doris, thank you for the opportunity. And indeed, SITE, as she said, stands for the Society of Incentive Travel Excellence. So we are the only society in the world that is dedicated to developing incentive travel. And it's been an absolute pleasure to have been rebranded in late 2019 from SITE South Africa to SITE Africa. And the reasoning behind that was that we needed to develop our skills and obviously develop our membership base. But you had to, if you were in Nigeria or in Kenya, you had to join the South Africa chapter. So it was agreed to open it up to all of Africa. So now we are one big family, and just the interest and the excitement has been contagious. And I'm very proud to say that we actually have more African members now than South African members. So fabulous to have everybody on board. And the big objective behind SITE Africa is really to look into destinations that have become from tourism ready to MICE ready, being able to deal with international conferences at that international standard, and now become incentive ready. And I know I'm going to get smacked across the fingers again, but I love using Rwanda as the example. This is our absolute success story in Africa. Whereas 5 years ago, Rwanda was like not on anybody's list for anything besides gorilla trekking. And today, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they rank 6 in Africa in terms of conference destination, which is absolutely fantastic. And to see that turnaround is phenomenal. Now, those are the kind of success stories that we want to chase, because there are so many other destinations. If I look at destinations like Uganda, like Ghana, that are really driving the international and local MICE business. So those are the kind of stories that we're after, and we hope to partner with and help develop. I can talk a lot more about this, but we haven't got time. Just finally, one of our biggest drivers also is to mentor and to help develop skills to deliver at that corporate international expectation level from our clients. And I think I'll stop there with regard to site. Thank you, Doris.
Thank you very much, Tess. And it's really refreshing to hear about that. I personally, my organization is a member of SITE. And it was during COVID times that we thought, okay, what else do we need to do to remain relevant? And becoming a member of SITE has helped us remain relevant in the industry. And so I think if it wasn't for that, none of us would have been here today. So thank you so very much for that. But then also, Tess, you mentioned how well Rwanda is doing. There's so many other countries that have got just initiatives that are really coming up right now. We'll hear about Botswana shortly. We're going to hear about other countries and what they're doing. And I think even with an initiative like this, like Walk for Love, it is an opportunity for us to know what other destinations are doing in terms of tourism where Africa is concerned. As we walk for the love of Africa, we will be saying that Africans, it is now time for us to love ourselves, love our destinations, love our continent. You know, your next holiday, let it be in Zimbabwe, Vic Falls. Let it be in Botswana, go to the Okavango. Let it be in Nigeria or in DRC. We don't need to be running off across, you know, the globe and across the seas to France, to London, and anywhere else. We need to start loving ourselves. And as we start this initiative, we're saying that we are now acknowledging that Africa is our home. We love it, we're proud of it, and we will start supporting each other. So again, my thanks to Toni for bringing us all together under this platform. Thank you so very much. And now, my next question, actually, so Kate, it's still for you, Tess. What is it that motivated you to partner with SITE? I remember I was minding my own business and you called me and said, Doris, have you heard for Walk for Love? I'm like, no. And I was ready to walk away, and you convinced me to say, no, this is not an initiative you want to walk away from. This is something you want to partner with. This is something you want to be engaged in. And of course, I was sold, and here I am. So what is it that motivated you as SITE Africa and as an individual to partner with Walk for Love?
Well, I tell you, I can blame that squarely on Tony's shoulders. He called me one Sunday afternoon and he was brimming with passion and excitement. And he told me that he just had this run the day before and he had this idea. And what do I think? And I thought, that's insanely good. I couldn't say no. And yeah, of course, that's, you know, talking about networking. So that's how we reach out to people like yourselves and all our other partners. Ellen and everybody else, Bonita, that I very roughly dragged on board. Thank you for rising to the occasion. But you know what, the reason for us joining is 100% to what I said before. We're developing our footprint across Africa from a SITE perspective. But there's so much more. There's a lot of personal investment for me here as well, because I've always been a great fan of Africa, being an African myself. I mean, I sometimes go to other countries and people say, but how come you're African? You're white. Like, hello, I'm part and parcel of this fabulous continent. And there's so much misconception. And a lot of people still see Africa as a dark and dangerous continent. And even Africans sometimes look at the rest of the continent not really knowing. You know, we are right. Bigger than the US and Asia put together. So people don't quite always realize our geographical spread. So there are a few things, and Cuthbert and some of our previous speakers already touched on that, but you know, we need to learn to grow our own economies within our own backyard. And historically, there's been a lot of barriers, but slowly but surely, as you know, the world becomes a bigger place, and technology and internet is helping us learn about each other. You know, we've got to figure out how we're going to do this. I think we've been talking about this for long enough, you know, collaborate, network, you know, do intra-African business, but we talk about it, but what are we doing about it? So I would really like to see from this exercise, what are our next steps? What are barriers? And, you know, Cuthbert was talking about Eswatini. Now, years ago, I was on the Swazi Tourism Board, and we held the first Univisa conference, I think it was 98 to 99, in Swaziland. Now, years later, we finally got a CASA visa within Southern Africa, across the Vic Falls area. It took almost 20 years to get there. Now there's a single tourism visa in East Africa between Uganda, Rwanda, and Kenya. Fantastic. What about the rest of Africa? When are we going to start holding hands and talk the same language? You know, walk the walk and talk the talk. I think the visas are a great opportunity. And then, of course, Tony's passion, and it's great to see John Howell on the show as well, you know, developing Africa routes as far as airlift goes. But why is Africa so expensive? We need to make Africa affordable to ourselves, because we want your business, Nigeria, we want your business, Kenya, but can you afford us? You know, we really need to look at the affordability factor for intra-Africa travel. So there's so much. Talking about skills development, lots and lots and lots of opportunities there. So the destinations are ready, but can we deliver? And now with COVID, we've had such a massive brain drain of skills that's moved into other industries, probably for good. What are we doing about uplifting our skills to where it was in 2019 and improving beyond that? And on that note, Doris, I think I'll leave it there, but we've got a lot of opportunities and a lot of work to do. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I like what you said about the upskilling. I like what you said about the opportunities. I like what you've said about bringing us all together. This is precisely what we need to do. And I hope that through all of us coming together through Walk for Love, we will be able to put our money where our mouths are and really start, you know, embracing and collaborating and opening these opportunities up to one another. If you look on the chat room right now, for all of you on the chat room, we have posted African Tourism Board's website. We've posted SCAL's website. Please go in there, have a look and see the other opportunities that are available to all of us over here. Let's build one strong community and let it all begin with the Walk for Love.
All right, Tess, I think we've lost her. Can you continue? Yes, okay. She has. Please go ahead.
All right. Hopefully she'll be back with us soon. Yes, so I think let's go on to the next speaker. I'm just looking for the program. Nena, please tell me who's next.
Mr. Ademola Asonya of SCAL is next.
That's lovely. Thank you so much. Mr. Ademola, I think Doris has already done a great introduction, and shall we start with what is your motivation for joining the Walk for Love? Over to you, thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Tess, especially for standing in for Doris. I was hoping she will be here because I'm going to start from an angle of everybody's introduction has a friend in it. So I'm going to actually add a friend of Doris into my resume now, because I become one of her friends too from this moment on. This is the collaborative part of this talk, isn't it? So I have to collaborate with Doris starting from now. Number two is thank you for letting me talk about what was our motivation. When Toni told me about this, to start with, it's first of all sounded cool. Walk for Love. It just sounded cool. More so, it just gave me an idea, immediately mentioned it. I said, Valentine is around the corner. Why don't I work for love? Why don't I work for my wife and my kids? Everybody's always looking to buy a gift. Let them stay in a car behind me and I just work for them. I'm sure the emotion will be so aroused, so much that they will think, oh, my daddy works for us. My husband works for me. It's not because I'm cheap, but isn't that a good idea? To work for love. And I will encourage Toni to keep working so that more ideas will come. You know, don't stay indoors, stay out there, keep working. Now, our motivation is because, first of all, SCAR is a body, an association of people in travel and tourism. We're a bunch of professionals that have come together to network, to collaborate for tourism. And if an idea has just come forth to promote tourism in Africa, which is one of the things we've always talked about in SCAR, we've always talked about, why don't we look inwards? Now, as much as devastating COVID was, it stopped people from going around the world. But we then had opportunity inbound, or we had opportunities internally that we're not looking at. Let me be honest with you, when we look at the data, we found out that even within your country, majority of your citizens have not even gone around the tourist opportunities you have in your country. Now, if COVID was terrible and it allows people to look inwards, I take that as one of the positive parts of COVID. And when Toni mentioned it, I said, why won't we join this? Especially when I mentioned it to the members of SCAR, they thought it was a good idea. We will work with Toni, we will do the working. But as we were talking about it, the idea goes into our head and said, I hope we're not going into this same rhetoric that we always go into. For every invention in life, it comes as an idea, it follows with a plan, it follows with an action, a review, a feedback, then you redo it when you're wrong, isn't it? Now, in most part of Africa, what we do is we have an idea, we start it, and the criticism will be more than positive feedback. And then the idea dies. But with what Toni has come up with, and with what we are all collaborating for now, he has come with an idea. Let's do the plan. Let's work for love, actually, so that we can get a result. Then we review how far this work has, we review the work itself, and then pick the positive feedback out of it, and then go forward and redo it if we're wrong. But we must move. Doris mentioned something yesterday when we were in the trial. It's time to stop talking. We've talked enough. Let's now move. And that is why we were so enthusiastic to do this work with Toni and the rest of you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Sanya, thank you for those motivating words. It is absolutely exciting to see how many people have pulled together across the continent, and looking at the viewership we have today, people from all across Africa. And Toni, you really started a felt fire here, and it's going to roll. So may I now move across to the Honourable Minister, Philda Kereng. Minister from Botswana, one of the most beautiful countries in Africa. They're all beautiful, but you've got such a special, unique product. And yeah, Botswana, thank you for hopping on board this walk. Please tell us your motivation and what does Walk of Love mean for you?
If Walk of Love is all about love, I think I've got so much love for whatever we are gathered here for. Good morning, good afternoon all. I'm motivated to be part of this, to perform my role in different ways. One of them is to share Botswana's story as a motivation for other nation states to understand the critical things from our experience that can work in terms of rebuilding the African tourism and recovering it and resetting it, in motion after the impacts of COVID-19 that I don't need to talk about. You all know we are now on a recovery mode as Africa. We met in July in Kenya at the African Tourism Recovery Summit, where we discussed a number of critical planning considerations that must be applied if we are to recover tourism in our countries and also build Africa as a tourism destination of choice, set it on the global space as the place one just has to be. And from COVID, we did learn that there has emerged a new form or character of a tourist, who wants to heal from the lockdowns, psychosocial, impacts, negative impacts of COVID on livelihoods, on lives, on social lives, on relationships, on incomes and everything. We no longer are looking at a tourist who just wants to come to Botswana and see an elephant and go back. They want to heal, they want to connect, they want to spend more time exploring, the localities. They want to camp in the bush, they want to interact with people, get into the lifestyle, get into the city, go into the bush, and so forth. So what we are saying about African tourism recovery is to emphasize what needs to be done. Our story of COVID-19 controls go back to Botswana being able to have cushioned the sector through, paying out wage subsidies to employees of the tourism sector, just so that they don't, lose their jobs. You could cushion, the salaries of the employees so that, employers don't have to come back and start again. We also, issued industry support funding where, businesses in tourism could access interest-free loans to repackage their facilities and rebrand and so forth, preparing for the recovery. So, now we entered the recovery mode where we designed as government a reset model where we are saying, let's get into innovation, let's do new things, let's revise our laws and policies. And I can talk about Botswana's revised tourism policy that was enacted and passed by Parliament last year in April, and other associated legislations. And this policy is actually driving a tourism sector that is resilient, that can deal with COVID-19 and other threats, that can advance this, new model where we want to integrate, we want to build partnerships, we want to strengthen our marketing, efforts and build capacities, attract resources, attract investors, and be able to position ourselves very well in the global space. Now, talking about that, I would like to say that one of the main things that we're trying to do is to ensure that Africa, to become a destination of choice, we must demonstrate to the world that we are, as a continent, are safe. How do we do that? Vaccination rollout, vaccine rollout is key. And our story of vaccine rollout, where by December, we exceeded and far exceeded the WHO target of, having to have vaccinated at least 40% of the eligible adult population accessing the full doses of vaccines. And, in addition to that, we attained more than 80% vaccination of the tourism sector employees. So when you talk about Africa becoming a destination of choice, these are some of the stories that you must be able to say, we are safe. And safety also goes across and touches on legal frameworks, policies that exist to ensure security and safety in terms of governance, in terms of just general security. Can our tourists move around the streets of Agege and feel safe? Can they move around Soweto and feel safe? Can they traverse the continent without fearing that in Africa I'll be shot or I'll be killed by a baboon or things like that? So what we're saying is, we want to position ourselves to become that destination, but we know and we acknowledge the capacity limitations that we have, and we say we also are a hub to attract investors that have the capacities, and also Intra Africa, we have capacities. I'm listening to all the speakers that have spoken, and I'm seeing capacities. So I'm seeing a lot of capacities that we can share across the continent. Capacity building, capacity sharing, common marketing, integrated planning, ease of travel, like we've already talked about, where we make travel across the continent affordable and seamless. Why should I take 3 days from here to Cameroon or 4, when I can just go straight in a day to another continent? So these are things that we need to be attending to. We are also addressing the issues of visas and common passes and so forth. We also, I believe, in the recovery mode, have to attend to a lot of, connectivity through like webinars that we are doing, and also invite ourselves like to all these heritage days, celebrations, monument, celebration, and all these things. But I'm calling more to media to say that if we have to market Africa, then we must, as Africans, tell the right stories about this continent, the right narrative, the true narrative. Out there, like my sister has said, Tess, some even Africans, some of them don't believe in the Africa. They still look at Africa as a place that is not good enough, not clean enough, not safe enough. So we want to change mindsets by connecting to deliver the right voices, in the right voices, the right messages, the right narratives. Why can't we overtake CNN with the stories about Africa, giving the right content, enough content, before they even talk about how we lack water and we don't have roads and they can't show the things that we have. Media, communications, packaging stories, delivering stories. We Africans tell stories around the fire when we sit and eat and laugh and dance together. So we can be innovative, very creative in this recovery road or roadmap, so to be able to use our African nature of connection, to deliver stories and so forth. Let me talk about the campaign, because I know I don't have much time. This campaign, to me, and it's of much interest, I had to attend double meetings just so that I could accommodate this, is for the love of what you are doing. Thanks, Toni, for this innovation. And I believe that we can build a lot of other young people out there in the continent who can further on, innovations and make sure that they can connect us to such innovations. First of all, I love this because it connects us. It helps us to find a place and a platform where we can share stories, like I said, share capacities, share knowledge, and also celebrate ourselves together. I can be able to talk about Nigeria as a safe destination, or Rwanda or any other. And I want you to also speak about Botswana in the same light. So building Africa and integrating Africa, and it begins with such innovations like this. Capacities, one voice. Africa is safe. Why are we saying that? Take the Botswana story. I know my Botswana story. Take Botswana story. This is what they did. Maybe others can copy. They do the same. I'll copy from another one. So together we can be able to advance the right image, promote the continental, uniqueness, and help our people through these campaigns to love Africa more. Africans like to say, I went to Dubai for a holiday with my family. Can we change that? I want to come to Lagos, man. I want to come to which countries here? And Nube is going to take me to other places.
Tanzania, so please come to Tanzania.
Oh, yeah, Tanzania. I'll come to Tanzania. I'll come to Morogoro, and I'll come to Nyama Choma. Yeah, but we should be able to market ourselves, our countries, and not only our countries, other countries in the continent. I so love Africa that I changed the traveling my holidays outside the continent since I developed this love. So let us carry Africa together into the global space. Let us load the continent, celebrate together, and go out into the world together. How about next to Dubai? We have a pavilion about walk this walk, and we all converge, because right now in Dubai, every country for themselves, and we have not entered the global space yet with one brand Africa. I think I want to conclude and say I love this campaign for what it is doing, bringing us together, creating awareness, and helping us to actually express ourselves and demonstrate that love isn't real, it's meaningless until we show it. For God so loved that he gave. So if you love and you can't show it, then it's just a language and a word that means nothing. So we will commit ourselves to this initiative to support it. I'm going to mobilize the local media here, support Nono4 from ATB, and see what we can do with that. At the end of the day, the diaspora people want to come back. People out there who believe they have roots in Africa, they want to return. We want to prepare for them to welcome them. But let's be safe. Let's work together. Let's just build this thing together. I'm just excited. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, I want to just say I'm excited about this. I really, really am excited, and I'm committed to seeing us succeed in everything, including attracting investors, like I'm saying, so many initiatives that are coming. Thank you so much. Let me not talk too much. Mr. Nube knows you can talk on end. So thank you so much. I love it.
Thank you so much, Honourable Minister. And with that, I have to give you my virtual clap right there, because I'm sure we're all giving you. You've covered a lot of what we're probably all thinking and what we'll probably all be, what we're saying. It's all about the storytelling. What are we communicating? Are we even communicating? I think I have to raise this issue now, even with media, when we're promoting our destinations, we don't promote our destinations to our local media. We'll be promoting our destinations to international media. Once they come for the fam trip and they go, it's over. What is your local media, the one who is there with you every day, the one who can come to you at a drop of a hat at probably very little cost? What are we doing with those? So we need to tell these stories all over. Thank you so much for pointing that out. And that's a challenge to all of us here, challenge to you, Tess, challenge to you, Ademola, to Cuthbert, to ATB, and to Walk for Love. What are we doing in terms of telling our stories and our initiatives and bringing more Africans on board? I also like what you said, Honourable Minister, that when we go out there to promote our destinations, it's about time that we stop promoting our individual countries. You know, when we go out there, we speak to each other, we start contacting each other to say, Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, Kenya, South Africa, something is happening in Dubai. Why don't we all go together under Africa Pavilion instead of going as individuals? We need to start doing this. Even with this initiative, Walk for Love, there's so many countries that have joined up and signed up to support it. We would have needed more countries, of course, but maybe next time we'll be able to do that. But we also need the media to come and tell the story, to highlight this, and to encourage people to join and support. So thank you very much, Minister, for sharing that with us. Okay, I believe we have, okay, we're running out of time. So I would have to ask Nena's permission to see if we can have 15 more minutes, maybe perhaps, because I think I've seen 1 or 2 questions flying in the chat room, but I missed those. Were you able to capture any of those questions, Nena? Or at least someone has said question. I don't know if they wrote it.
There are more of comments. There are more of comments than questions. But please, if you have questions, please put in the chat box so that we can help with that. All right. So please go ahead. I've granted you 15 minutes. I've granted you 15 minutes. So please go ahead.
Thank you very much. And I think, look, there is a comment, again, I can't scroll back up, but I saw it whiz through. A comment about challenging ATB, African Tourism Board, to do training for, I think the question is from Jacob. Jacob, is it okay if I can ask you to just ask, come on right now and ask the question that you've been asking Cuthbert, if that's okay with you. Jacob McGinney, tell us where you're from and what it is you want to ask, and I think you want to ask it to ATB, right? Can you hear me, Jacob?
Yes, Doris, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So please go ahead and give us your comment or your question.
Thank you. Indeed, I'm happy to be involved in this wonderful meeting. The point I was trying to make is that most of the journalists in Africa, they do not have the knowledge or skills of reporting stories about focusing on tourism issues, and they have no training on that. And they are supposed to have skills so that they can have that competence. They can be able to tell tourism stories in their area correctly. They should not report everything. So training is needed for journalists in African countries, including in my country, Tanzania. Yes.
Okay.
And we also need
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for pointing that out, Jacob. Jacob, you're joining us all the way from Tanzania. Thank you so much. But again, this is a challenge for you. We invited you to come on here today to listen to this initiative for Walk for Love. It will be happening in your region and in your city. So I hope on the day of the walk, you will come on board and cover this far and wide for more Tanzanians to join and for more people, even around Africa, because you're on an online publication, to join this initiative. So that is a challenge to you as well, in as much as there's no training, but please report on this. Okay, thank you so very much. Maybe we'd like to hear more for our convener. Oh, Tess, you have your hand up. Okay.
Yeah, Tess, I'm just picking up on a comment from Kazim. He asks if this is a one-off thing or we're looking at a long-term engagement for Africa. So it is definitely long-term. May I ask Tony to respond to that for us, please?
Thank you, Tess. Thank you, Kazim, for that question. I also want to piggyback on what Demola said, so after the walk, then what next? So this is not an event, this is a campaign, a continuous campaign. So already we are working on 12th to work on what we are going to be doing throughout the year. We have a calendar of events that we're going to be doing. So please watch out for us. You're going to be hearing more from Work for Love as we have a rollout for what we're going to be doing in different countries, in different cities across Africa to grow a community, one community under the sectors of tourism, travel and tourism, and begin to speak in oneness and in love. So yes, February 12th is an event, but Work for Love is not an event. It's a campaign that will continue to draw support and advocate for a one Africa and inclusive, borderless and connected Africa. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Tony. Thank you very much for that, Tony. And maybe in the few minutes that we have left, if I could call upon one of the country coordinators, because as you may or may not know, for those of you who've joined, each country that is participating has a dedicated coordinator to coordinate the walk in that country and in the respective city. We have 20 countries that are participating so far. We will not mention them all now, but if you go to the Walk for Love social media pages on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook and LinkedIn, you will find the list of all the countries that are participating, as well as the coordinators for each country. But for now, maybe, I don't know, we could call maybe upon one or two coordinators just to tell us what it is exactly that they have planned for their respective countries. Tess, maybe you want to speak for South Africa. Nonofo, if you'd like to speak for Botswana, if that's okay. And yeah, if you're a coordinator and you've joined us and you would like to speak about the arrangements that you've done so far for the walk in your country, please put your hand up and we'll give you 1 minute, just 1 minute, to talk about what it is you have organized in your country, and hopefully also Nigeria. So why don't we just start with Nigeria? The coordinator for Nigeria, or Tony, would you like to talk about what you've organized for Nigeria?
Lola is here. Lola can share, and of course I can also share, yes. Okay.
Lola, go ahead. 1 minute for you. Just tell us what Nigeria has organized. So if anyone else is wondering what can we do in our destination, maybe they can learn a thing or two from what you have done.
I think I've been very lucky because the founder for Walk for Life, Walk for Love Africa, is actually here, and we've had a lot of coordination from Nena as well. So thank you very much, Tony. His passion is what's really carrying this forward, and it's attracting so many people to the program and to the platform. We also have the support of SCAL, and you've heard from Mr. Ademola. Hi, Bros. And it's gathering a lot of momentum here. We are very lucky that it's actually going to be a day of exercise, a day of fitness, hashtag get outside, hashtag walk for love, because it's the same day as the Lagos Marathon. So we're going to be piggybacking on a lot of the activities that are taking place on those days, because it's not necessarily everyone that can run an entire, how long is it, 15 kilometer marathon. And some people just want something a little bit more gentle, and they're able to join us. And there are a lot of people that work in tourism. There's a lot of tourism development that's been happening locally in Nigeria and in Lagos. So we're getting a lot of support from people like that, and from the sponsors that we have. Shout out to the Radisson. We're going to be walking in a quiet area around Lagos, which has a lot of visibility. It's very close to the airport, and it's close to some of the major airline offices. So we're going to have a lot of outpouring of support from them as well, along with snacks, branded t-shirts, music, and it's just going to be an absolutely beautiful day. So we're very excited about the upcoming February the 12th date. And yes, everybody strap on your trainers. Even if your country isn't necessarily participating and there isn't a coordinator in your country, you can join us. And this is one of the key things that we're telling people. You can join us online, you can join us on social media, you can get a t-shirt and walk wherever you are, post it and do the hashtag, and just join us in support of this interconnectivity of Africa. And I love what I've heard on this webinar today, where we are advocating visiting each other and changing the narrative. Africa is not scary, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and we have absolutely anything and everything that you could dream of for a holiday. So let's start liquidating those borders, let's start visiting each other, and let's start by walking for love.
Thank you so very much, Lola. Now we know what's happening in Nigeria. And is that in Lagos, or is that happening in Lagos?
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, did I not mention that? That is happening in Lagos, in GRA, in Ikeja, in Lagos. So if you're anywhere else in Nigeria, fly down to Lagos, come and join us on the 12th, and we'll post the link and make sure that everybody is able to join in and register. But yes, it's happening in Lagos.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Glad to hear about what's happening in Lagos. And now I'd like to give this opportunity to Mulemo. Mulemo is joining us all the way from Zambia. I hope, Mulemo, you're having this walk around Vic Falls, hey? So we can all come and just traipse around the falls and enjoy a good holiday while we're at it. Mulemo, 1 minute for you. Thank you. Please unmute yourself. You're muted.
Okay, so I was just showing off my background and my sunlight.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna turn off my camera because I can't trust my connection. So basically, we are planning for an event on the 12th that is going to raise awareness. So Zambia is one of the countries that had actually started diversifying the economy from primarily mining and agriculture, and tourism had been identified as one of those sectors that could help our economic diversification. So we were really a social sector. Now, COVID brought about the realization of how massive the industry and the value chain of the industry actually is in terms of jobs and wealth. So what we have now seen is how many lives were impacted, how many businesses have since had to close, and also how much domestic tourism has actually saved us. We were primarily selling to the international market. Come COVID, we've now had to learn that our source markets are also going through their own problems. So we are now going to use the walk not only to revive our local tourism destination, but also looking at the region, the opportunity that the region provides. We are a land-linked country surrounded by 8 destinations, and we want to really leverage ourselves as a meetings destination and as a leisure destination. So our walk is going to be between 2 statues of the African Union. The first one is the transitioning statue, where Zambia transitioned from was a destination for the transitional meeting when Africa transitioned from the Organization of African Unity to the AU. So we are using that as a start point, and Zambia is not doing the lazy 2 kilometers, we're doing 4 kilometers. So can you come over to Zambia and join us on the 4 kilometer walk? But yeah, it's because of the significance of the 2 locations. So we're using that as a start point. The second location is at our convention center, the Mulungushi International Conference Center. That is where will be our final destination, where the other African Union statue is. Just as a reminder to stakeholders of the importance of our country in the tourism ecosystem, not just for Zambia, but at regional level. So we want Zimbabwe, Botswana, everybody to come and walk with us. We've even sent out invitations to the ambassadors to come and walk with us. So it's not going to be just a Zambia thing. We're going to get the Minister of Tourism leading, but also the diplomatic corps walking with us. So it's going to be massive. We're so excited. I have Chongo on the call. She's assisting me with coordinating. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mulemo. I mean, I love the idea that you have actually invited the ambassadors that are representing other countries in Zambia to join you in the walk. That's another way of raising awareness to them as well, because they're representatives of these countries. So you're bringing the world to Zambia to walk along with you. So this is just a few of the initiatives that we see happening for Walk of Love in the other African countries. If you have not joined, I will be asking you, What are you waiting for? No, really, what are you waiting for? You need to sign up. Nana has graciously put all the information on the chat on how you can join and sign up for the Walk for Love initiative. Just join and get to join our social media pages. She's just posted that again on the links on there. Get in there and see how it is you can join. If you're part of the industry, there's no reason why for you not to be taking part. I see Nonofo's hand held up high and she wants to speak about Botswana. Thank you, Nonofo. I'm going to give you 1 minute to do just that. 1 minute, Nonofo. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We're excited also here in Botswana. And the angle we're taking things is to tell the narrative, the story of Botswana. Mm-hmm. We say this is where we come from, this is where we are, and this is where we are. And therefore, our start point would be in the main mall area, which is the city center of the county of Gaborone. And this mall was established in 1963 as a way of paving for our independence in 1966. And then our endpoint would be at the three chiefs, the monuments. These are the three gentlemen that actually traveled to England to go on a quest to get our independence. And we say they have brought us this far, we are here. And this is how now we are telling our story of Botswana from what we were and got there, and we are transitioning. And we are saying Botswana is open, let us connect. But before you connect, let us tell you the story of who we are, where we come from, what we stand for, and what tourism is. Because now we've come to realize that, yes, we are big with our wildlife and stuff like that, but there's the experience of the people, there's the experience of the nature, we sell experience in tourism. But in Botswana, we say we provide you beyond experience. So the significance of this walk here is to say, let us walk together. Let us walk from Rwanda, from Tanzania, come through, walk to Botswana. Our doors are open. Come and experience Africa at its best. So we have media companies that have partnered with us. We have also the tourism facilities. We've got the Heart Hub. We've got even the minister herself that has partnered with us to make sure that this event becomes what it's supposed to be. So thank you.
Thank you so very much, and a big clap to you again. Thank you everyone who has talked to us. Would love to hear about all the other destinations, but in the interest of time, I think we have an idea of what actually will be happening on the 12th of February. And I've just seen a comment there from Linda Fernando, my colleague from ATB, saying, looking forward to have the walk in Mozambique next year. Absolutely, Linda. I'm afraid we've already closed the applications for new coordinators, so hopefully next year you'll be able to coordinate for Mozambique, beautiful Maputo. We'll all like to be there and join. And again, Toni, this is what your effort, this is what your dream has done. And I would just like to say, it's not ending here. It's not going to end on the 12th of February. This is an initiative that is the beginning of many more initiatives. So I'd just like to challenge every single person that has joined this webinar today. Scroll back up, go and look at the links and the websites that our partners have graciously posted. We have links there for site. Go in there and join. If we're saying we must collaborate, then we must join each other's organizations that are there to help us grow our industry. Go in, read about site, join. Go in, Fiscal, read about that. We heard, look, 13,000 members and growing. Look, Mr. Ademola, you now have 13,001 because I'm also going to join in there. Okay, and then we also have the Walk for Love initiative. You haven't joined up to now, go in there and join. If we're going to sit here for 90 minutes and talk about collaboration, we need to put our money where our mouths in and really start coordinating and rather collaborating. And guess what? 5 years from now, we'll be singing a different story for Africa. Go in there, the ATB site, read about it, join it, because only if we stand together can we make all these dreams a reality. We don't want 5 years from now to find us exactly where we are, or worse, back a few 5 years back. We need to be ahead, and we need to say that someday on this date, we stood together and made a resolution to do just this. And I think, Elena, yeah. Ademola, you want to speak? Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, just quickly. I just want to thank the Honourable Minister because she did a very clear summarizing and a great breakdown of indications of where you need to put your. Now, when we're talking about this work, we should not miss out from the motive or the purpose of this work. Now, when I'm joining the Lagos work, there are going to be signages so that people can read and see what we're working for. Now, I realized that the African Union was thinking of single currency. There are leaders all over the world, all over Africa, are looking for single currency. This is the time they should look for how to help airlines to do intra-Africa flights. Connectivity should be easy to promote tourism. They should be able to look at visas that will be attached to tourist package, and they will be easy for people to move around Africa. The message we will not miss out while we're working, which is that make tourism easy within Africa. First of all, for Africans, then for people in the diaspora who wants to come back. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ademola. Doris, please do not forget Vicky's song. Let's talk about our love song. Please, very important.
Absolutely.
We need to know that. And then Tess hasn't given her own summary. She's still going to give a summary. Tess, is she going to still give a summary?
Thanks. Yeah, I wasn't so much perturbed about giving a summary because we've got 3 destinations and there are plenty stories to tell. But I would like to touch on the closing ceremony will include one of our own African singers and pop stars, Vicky Sampson. She's got a new song called The Song of Love. Some of you might have heard a clip already. It's a big song and it ties in perfectly with the theme of Walk for Love. And she agreed to launch the song on that day in the waterfront. So if you are around the Cape Town area, join the walk, be in the waterfront at the amphitheater. We are going to blast that song across the world. It's going to be magnificent. I just wanted to punt that one. Thank you, Doris.
Thank you, Tess. That's going to be our anthem. You heard it first from here. And yes, I'd like to call on you now, Cuthbert, just to final words before we leave on whatever it is you want to share with us. Mr. Nkube, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Tess, I'm joining you in Cape Town. Let's make it happen. Let's tell the world. Colleagues, thank you so much. Once again, we really appreciate Toni. This is a great initiative. And that has actually arose quite a lot of interest across the continent. And we pray that come 2024, it's going to be a continental event across all member states. And also really appreciating our Minister, Nina from Botswana, who is so passionate. I've never seen a minister who is so passion-driven and the energy she has. Not only for Botswana, by the way, but for the continent. I alluded with her that, look, responding on Jacob Mugumni from Tanzania, that it is high time for all our journalists, let's tell our own story. It's been, a miserable exercise when CNN actually portrays Africa is a dark era continent. So it is high time. By the way, we will be coming in Tanzania. Hope to see you there. And the minister will be there in coordination with your minister and the president in Zanzibar, where we'll be attending the Pan-African Women Empowerment Summit on the 6th to 8th. Let's get together. We are going to have engagement with all our journalists to say, let's talk with one voice. Let's sell, let's rebrand our continent. Let's market our destinations as the best. We have so much in Africa. I wish I was in Victoria Falls for the walk to life. I don't know how I'm going to separate myself, Toni. I would love to join you as well in Nigeria. So this brings us together. It's all about love. Africans, we are adored by our love towards one another, towards our continent. So that's why the emphasis and involving our policymakers, that is, it's time now to start implementing. It's time to start getting things done, dismantling all these borders that have separated us. That makes it very challenging to travel within the continent. So Thank you so much once again. We're looking forward. Tessa, let's go for it.
Amazing. It seems there's going to be a competition out there. Who's going to do the best walk? Okay.
Doris, we need to take a picture
So
of everybody.
before-
So when we're wrapping up, I want us to take a picture. I'll snap a picture from my side.
Yes.
So when you're ready, everyone should put on their video so I can snap it. So thank you.
Indeed. I've seen a hand that's been raised up for a while from Sarah Kagingo. Sarah, I'm going to give you, I don't know if it's a comment or a question before I hand over to our panelists, the two of our panelists who are yet to give us their final thoughts. Tell us where you're from and really 30 seconds, maximum 40 seconds of your comment or question. Thank you, Sarah. Go ahead. Sarah Kagingo? Was that an accidental hand or are you muted and we can't hear you? Okay, Sarah, going once.
That's a wave of love.
All right, we're going to wave back then. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, now, Ademola, I'm going to call on you now to give you an opportunity to give us your final thoughts before I hand over to the Honourable Minister to give us her final thoughts, and then we all pose for Nene's photo, if that's okay, sir. Please, your final thoughts.
Thank you very much. This is just to say it's wonderful to be with you guys. The energy, the enthusiasm will not die. Let's take it beyond just the walk. Let's do the walk. After walking, let's put actions there. Let's make a move. Don't let's keep saying these stories over and over and over again and come and say it sometime later again. Let's actually put action. Let's collaborate. If anybody wants to do any package in Nigeria, come. In SCAR, we have over close to 70 tourist experts. They can collaborate with you. People can come from Australia and fly into Kenya, do 2 days, and do 2 days in Lagos. Let's collaborate. Let's collaborate. We can't have enough of that. And please, check on SCAR website. It's the best place to be. 319 clubs all over the world. I don't see where you can get them all together like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. We are taking your word up on that, and I'm sure we're all going to go and join and sign and see what SCAR is all about. And before I hand over to Toni for the final words, Honourable Minister Philda, could you give us 40 seconds of your final words if you're still with us? Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much. I think we are in one spirit. I don't have to say more. You know, love, sometimes you don't talk, you just look at you in the eyes like I'm doing. And I'm saying, let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's rise up. I think one of the first things and most important things that you should do is to lead by the example of touring Africa ourselves, you know. So I can be able to go with a team, a group, you know, we go do pepper soup in Nigeria, then go to Cape Town and just go across all the blocks of this continent. Let it be a project that even as we go around these things like the walk for love, then we can choose a destination and decide that a cohort of us, you know, including government ministers, I want to be there, and then, you know, media and what, we converge at one place physically at the time, and then begin to activate this intra-travel initiative. So I can be a tour guide for Nigeria, as you know, actually, you know, bar and all that, the food that I love. So, you know, we need to express that by doing it, you know, from Cape to Cairo. In that way, we can begin to do a lot of stuff. Let's get excited and keep the momentum. We will see you on the 12th. I think I'll be one of the best workers. I've set aside one of my main Valentine events. I was supposed to host you know, a motivational session that I always do, and coaching sessions. I've decided to set it aside for a later time so I can be part of this. So I'm excited. Let's meet. But most importantly, as Ademola was saying, not just for this once-off event, you know, for the purpose of this event, but if also beyond. So let's be thinking, what's the next project that we are loading here? So then we begin to run continuously and consistently. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Thank you so very much, Honourable Minister. Cuthbert, you had your one word, but I see your hand is up again. Are we giving you?
No.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds.
I wanted to wave to my brother, Toni. Thank you once again, Toni. And we're looking forward to see you on the 25th of February 2022, where the government of Eswatini will be commissioning the African Tourism Board's headquarters, and where we'll be launching. By the way, this is a special day for Africa. We want to invite Honourable Minister will always be there supporting this great initiative. We want to see our journalists from the continent. Let's converge. Let's come and sell our beautiful African continent. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. You've heard it all from here. We're all converging in Eswatini on that day, 25th of February, for the launch of Africa Tourism Board. And we'll see you, Ademola, we'll see you, Philda, we'll see you, Toni, we'll see everyone who's joined here today. Thank you very much. And now, last but not least, my dear Toni. Toni, you are the reason that we are here today. So I'm giving you the honor of giving us your final word and your thoughts. I know you're overwhelmed right about now, but I'm sure somewhere you can dig deep and give us your final words. You normally have a lot to say, but today you have been, extraordinarily quiet, but I can understand it's all the emotions. But thank you so much. May I ask you now to come and join us and give us your final words, Toni?
Thank you much. Thank you very much, Doris. What today has demonstrated is that this is not about me, it's about Africa. And for that, I am very grateful that the attention is not about Toni or who I am or what I stand for, but basically Africa, our motherland, and how we can put it up back in the map. I just wanted to share, lastly, what our mission and vision at World for Love Africa is, because the Honourable Minister have shared a lot of things that are hindering us, and there are barriers to our tourism growth in Africa. And I just wanted to piggyback on what our mission is. So our mission is to close the gap in the travel and tourism value chain through a Pan-African project to create a socio-economic development in Africa. So again, Work for Love is a Pan-African project. And what that stands for is that we are going to be having series of activities, campaigns, and events across Africa to continue to advocate and drum up that support of a borderless and connected Africa. And also want to share that we've also pulled in African Airlines Association, the airline side of things, because movement across Africa, of course, there is land and there is sea, but of course, majorly is now by air, and we have to lower the barriers on how we can connect the airlines, being able to connect Africa. It's so expensive traveling in Africa than elsewhere, going outside the continent. How can the airlines come and work together to lower the cost of travel? Again, of course, the minister have talked about issues about vaccination and all that. So we are closing the gap. This is our mission in the travel and tourism value chain. And our vision is to foster unity and solidarity by engaging the potential of domestic African tourism markets. The potentials are enormous. We have now to begin to tap into it and grow those potentials and see them to reality. On that note, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank especially my coordinators for making this come to life. It's amazing, and their sacrifice of love. Nobody's paid for this. It's very sacrificial, and I want to appreciate everybody. I am touched and I'm grateful. Thank you, Africa.
Thank you very much, Toni. And again, from me and all of us here, a virtual clap and a sitting ovation to you. Thank you very much. Okay, look, we are within time, but I'm going to have to take the powers that are vested in me to say that we have now officially come to the end of this webinar, unless Nena is going to tell me otherwise, but I'm like,
we're done. We go well.
Photograph.
So everyone, put on your video. Please, everybody, put on your video, everyone, please. Someone is missing. Oh my God, Honourable, you're missing Nigeria food. Don't worry, we'll send it to you. We'll send you a bar and a bono soup. Everybody, please put on your videos. Amazing.
Then just to the last one, and Honourable Minister already have plans to have you in Lagos next month. So just put that in your calendar.
Yay! All right, so are we ready? Are we having our phone stuff on? Okay, so let me start with, so We have 3 sets. I'll do this first set, then the next set, then the next set. So please just give you a smile, say cheese, or say walk for love.
Cheese, walk for love. Bye.
Okay.
That's gonna
all right, I'm done with one. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. So hold on, let me save the first one. Number 1 saved. Now I'm doing the next set. Okay, so the next set, I need you to say the same thing. As your video's on, say walk for love.
Walk for love.
I can't hear you.
Cheese. Cheese.
Hold. Okay. Okay, I'm done for the first. Okay, this is the second set. Let me go to the third set. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's get this rolling. Okay. All right, let's see. Beautiful. Okay. All right, so for the second set, for the last set, I will need you guys to smile for me. Say your own walk for love. I can't hear you.
Yes.
Yes, one more time. Just hold on. Let me put one more time. It went off, so just hold on so I can do this for documentation. So tomorrow we all have something to share. All right, hold on. So the next set. Okay. All right, say walk for love.
Walk for love.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. God bless
Before
you.
you log off, before you all log off, go to the social media pages, Instagram, Walk for Love, Instagram, Walk for Love, Facebook, Walk for Love, LinkedIn, Walk for Love, Twitter, because we will need to start sharing our stories and our footage of how we went to our neighboring country just to visit. So the next time you're in Botswana, you're in Benin, you're in South Africa, you are in Tanzania, Zanzibar, Rwanda, wherever you are, take your photo, post it on the Walk for Love page so that we know that something has come out of this webinar today. And with that, again, I want to thank our panelists, thanking our partners. Thank you, Tony. Thank you to every single one of you who have joined. And yeah, in my native language, Swahili, I just like to say asante sana na tutaonana.
Asante sana.
Yes, asante sana.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, asante sana, kwa heri.
Karibu, karibu mheshimiwa.
Udabo, udabo, udabo.
Udabo.
Tot ziens.